Alright, hello reviewees and JCB viewers, and welcome back to JCB EduBuild Solutions. We're diving straight into a rapid-fire power drill, focusing on sanitation and plumbing design. This is going to be fast, so get ready. You might look at these topics and think, oh, this stuff is easy, it's just the basics. But let me tell you, this is exactly where so many people get tripped up on the exam. The devil is in the details, and you have to be quick. And when I say quick, I mean it. The rule is simple. You have just 5 seconds to answer each question after I read it. So, think you've got what it takes? Let's find out. Let's jump right in. First up, we're kicking things off with Section 1, Foundational Health Concepts. These are the big picture ideas that everything else is built on. Okay, question 1. The total relationship of man to physical, biological, socio-economic, and socio-cultural environment and its effects on human well-being is called, you have 5 seconds. Think carefully. The correct answer is B, environmental health. Remember, public health tends to focus on people and diseases, but environmental health is the whole system, the total relationship between us and our surroundings. Next one. A state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Your 5 seconds start now. And the answer is A, health. This is that classic core definition. The key words are complete well-being. It's not just about not being sick. Final question for this section. When a disease normally prevails in a locality without huge fluctuations, what is it called? 5 seconds. The answer is A, endemic. Think of it as the baseline, the disease that's always kind of there in a community. An epidemic is a sudden outbreak, and a pandemic is when it goes global. All right, great start. Now let's move from those broad concepts and zoom right in on the stuff we work with every day. Section 2 is all about water and fluid properties. First up for this section, the classification of water when it contains dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. You've got 5 seconds. The answer is B, hard water. And you absolutely have to know this, because hard water is what causes scale buildup in pipes, a huge issue in plumbing design. And speaking of those dissolved salts, what element has the symbol Mg? Quick chemistry check, 5 seconds. The answer is B, magnesium. Don't let them trick you. Manganese is Mn. It's a simple check, but they love to see if you're paying close attention. And this one is a classic board exam trap. Hardness of water can be represented by these units, except which one is the odd one out? 5 seconds. The correct answer is B, NTU. Why? Because Mg per L, ppm, and grains per gallon all measure concentration. NTU stands for nephelometric turbidity units. That measures how cloudy the water is, a totally different property. Last one for this section, the property of a fluid, whereby its own molecules are united or attracted to each other, is, 5 seconds, let's go. That is C, cohesion. Cohesion is molecules sticking to themselves. It's what makes a water droplet hold its shape. Adhesion is when they stick to other things. Okay. We've covered clean water, so now it's time to get our hands dirty, figuratively, of course. Let's move on to Section 3, Understanding Wastewater. All right, here we go. It includes the discharge from latrines, urinals, bathrooms, kitchens, and stables is called, what's the right term? 5 seconds. The correct answer is C, sewage. This is a critical distinction. Wastewater is the broad term for any used water, but sewage specifically refers to waste that includes human excreta. Next question. The physical characteristics of sewage is determined by turbidity, color, odor, or all of them. You've got 5 seconds. The answer is D, all of the above. This is practical on-the-job stuff. Before you ever run a lab test, your first assessment is always what you can see and smell. Let's get specific. What type of wastewater came from a laundry sink? 5 seconds. Think carefully. That would be C, gray water. Remember, gray water comes from sinks, showers, and laundry. Black water is what comes from toilets. Knowing the difference is huge for treatment and recycling systems. Okay, this is a straight-up code question. You just have to know the number. Water shall not be discharged under pressure directly to the waste system if it has a temperature of 140 or more. 5 seconds. The answer is C, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a critical safety standard, mainly because most drain pipes are PVC, and anything hotter can cause them to soften, deform, and ultimately fail. All right, we're in the home stretch. Section 4, Plumbing Designing Codes. This is where we get into the real nuts and bolts. You either know these specs or you don't. Let's see how you do. First one for the final round. What is the minimum cold water supply diameter for a lavatory? 5 seconds on the clock. The correct answer is A, 10 millimeter. This is one of those numbers you just have to burn into your memory. It's a standard you'll use constantly. Okay, how about this one? What is the minimum cold water supply diameter for a bidet? 5 seconds. The answer, again, is A, 10 millimeters. Here's a little study tip. Group fixtures together that have the same requirements. Lavatory, bidet, same minimum. It makes memorizing so much easier. Time for an acronym. What is that vent pipe and plumbing that serves the building drain and building sewer? 5 seconds. The correct answer is B, SVTR. That stands for stack vent through roof. It's absolutely essential for letting air into the system to prevent vacuums and keep everything flowing smoothly. Last question. Let's finish strong. What is the standard size of cleanout for a 4-inch diameter pipe? 5 seconds. Bring it home. The answer is C, 4 inches. This points to a fundamental rule of thumb in the code. For pipes 4 inches or larger, the cleanout has to be the same size as the pipe. Simple as that. And that's it. You've completed the drill. So, how did you do? Be honest. Whether you aced it or found a few tough spots, remember the real key isn't just knowing the answers, it's understanding why they're the answers. That's what's going to make all the difference. Thank you for joining us, reviewees and JCB viewers. Follow JCB EduBuild Solutions for more board exam reviewers, and we'll see you in the next lesson.